Numiweyiten machita mami chitotamoen. Niwo tipa hamatowin aski. Egoa amia ostakek apitawi kuskosina. Nimiwi weten machita. Nimiweyitin machita. Mami chitotamoen. Mami chi tutamoen. Niwo tipa hamatoen aski. Neu tipa hamao. Tutu winaski. Egwa awiak. Aqua owiok astaskek. Api tawi kosiskanak. Yutu skik api tawi kusiskanak. That's Cree for hello. Before I start, I just want to acknowledge that the land acknowledgement that I did was created by my classmate Jessica Lipka. I just think it's important in the spirit of truth and reconciliation to mention that it was made by her, not by me. I'm just going to go over two quick things that I've learned in this semester's ECCU 400 class. The first is the quote by Wendell Starr from the syllabus. You think you're educated, but do you know who your great-great-great-great-great-grandparents were? This is something that I really took to heart when we were talking, especially in class, about ethnically who we are and how we're related to treaty. I never really thought much about my Hispanic heritage, and I'm on the journey right now of really trying to figure out who I am ethnically. So that was just something that really stuck out to me. The second thing I learned was the Cree concept of Kihci-Asotamâtowin, making good relations. I come from a very traumatic family background. It's very complex, a lot of dysfunction. I was abused by my brother through most of my childhood. So I never really thought about making good relationships because honestly I'm very scarred by relationships. But when we started talking about how it's more than just people relationships but also relationships to the land, that's something that I really took to heart. And I hope that not just these two lessons but all the other lessons I learned in the class will be things that I can teach my students to help make them become better, more growth-filled students as well. Thank you, Rubina. I chose to do a poem for my artistic component. I'm by no means an artist, but I thought that giving a visual would be more impactful. This poem talks about how you can go from a place of brokenness to a place of power, and you do that by being true to yourself. This is the biggest lesson I have learned in class, and I connect it to the teaching of Tapwewin. Through my life journey of coming from a very traumatic childhood to where I am now, I've fallen in love with language. I love learning different languages. I love the spiritual and emotion connection you get from seeing the diversity and beauty of the language and just really experiencing the culture in a cool way. This is why I chose to translate my poem into 3 different languages that are meaningful to me. I chose Spanish, Cree, and Dene. Of course, the original poem starts in English because that's my native language and that signifies my European heritage. I chose Spanish because I recently discovered that I have Hispanic ancestry and I'm just starting to connect more to that culture and ethnic part of myself. I chose Cree because it's an important language to me. My stepmother is a Métis woman who speaks Cree, and she has become an important part of my life, and I've started learning Cree to connect and bond with her. Dene is also connected to my relations with my stepmother. She has built a very strong relationship with Dene people and the culture and knows a bit of the language, so I've just started learning it. Now I'm going to read my poem in all 4 languages. First, we have English. A new promise. Broken promises, but we will rise in power as we walk in truth. Dine sulin. Nate tai negorenzi. Ni koli naret saru. Ni naidel eti yai gidel ha. Español. Promesas rotas, pero vamos a aumentar en el poder mientras caminamos en la verdad. Kihci-Asotamâtowin, Asotamâtowin, Miskâsowin, Miskâsowin, Tapwewin.